Pastor Giles inspires hope. And I think he inspires hope because people know that he himself is a changed man. There was a time in his earlier life where he did some bad things and ended up going to jail for a time.
Once I got out of that game and looked at what was coming up, looking at young people coming up, doing the same things that we used to do, making some of the same mistakes that I made, they're following something that I was part of laying out the pathway for.
Me and Pastor Giles, as parents ourselves and as fathers and as men and in community leaders, felt enough was enough.
We wasn't finding anybody leaning into the deep entrenched problems of poverty and problems of mental health and problems of the lack that existed, particularly on the east side of Buffalo.
I started a group called the Buffalo Fathers. He started a group, he was starting a group was Back to Basics. So we came together in a collaborated effort to help reduce a lot of the violence that's been going on in the city. Come on, give him a hand.
Back to Basics, we started off as substance abuse counseling. But substance abuse, in that counseling, from individual substance abuse to family counseling.
They saw how systemic those addictions were and how they involved family members. And their ministry grew to include things like finding secure housing and being sure that families had enough income that they could afford food.
Whoever came in the door to Back to Basics, I don't care what their problem was, right? We had an answer for it. If we didn't serve it ourselves, I knew who did.
People in the community see Pastor Giles as one of the main leaders. They see him as somebody that is on the side of the community. He doesn't have another axe to grind.
Pastor Giles, he was Deacon Giles there, him and Deacon Tony Brown. They told me to come on in the church because they seen that I was out here struggling a little bit. They said, come on in the church, help us give out some of this bread to some of these folk. They said a prayer for me, and my life took off since then, ever since then.
Brothers that had been long-term, giving up on, addicted, and they were getting the message. They were getting the message because it wasn't just the academic part of counseling and understanding behavior. It was giving them the spirituality and the encouragement and to say, hey, I am a witness. I've been there too.
We love Pastor Giles for the things he do for the community, for everyone out here.
Back to Basics has a motto that is something like, we take broken lives and bring them into the presence of God, and God does the rest. I think that somehow dawned in a deep way in Pastor Giles. And I think he came out of prison, started working, and never looked back.
All right, everybody, let's do it. He is the only one, I think, and I believe, the only one that's out here literally boots on the ground 365 days serving our community with passion, with love, and with commitment.
What's really endearing to me is the family that said to me, thank you, for helping my son, man, because he wouldn't have been nowhere. And then now this adult said, Pastor, man, if you hadn't caught me, man, when I was early, thank you, brother, because you put me on the right track, man, and now I'm somebody. Those are the most redeeming awards to me for the work that we do.